Welcome to Light the Sky podcast, going track by track, album by album, through the highs and the lows of some of the greatest artists that have ever released music. This one, Corporate America, Boston. Thanks for sticking around. I'm just going to thank you right at the beginning for giving this one a spin, because we're going to try to make this one entertaining. This album's a bit of a mystery, I suppose, considering that it was pulled, the rug was yanked out from under the record label, or perhaps righteously so, by Mr. Tom Scholz, the record label's best friend and buddy, who he's proven many years to just have constant controversy. It's kind of like those, let's not even go there to start. Let's just talk about the music. We got 9 tracks to get through. We're going to go through them all. Hopefully, we'll just make this entertaining for you, being that the album, well, maybe there's some interesting stories behind it. If you love PETA, I guess this is the album for you. I guess if you love Greenpeace, this is the album for you. Or he really puts a lot of effort into making sure that the politics of this album come out strong, which I guess for better or for worse makes it interesting, considering Boston was kind of just they're known for their songs that are very, very paper thin, I suppose, lyrically, and smoking and I don't know, like it's always been a band that never really tried to take on a deeper meaning to their music, and he definitely does here. This is the year is 2002. Of course, he took 4 years to record this one. I suppose that could be considered blistering for Mr. Scholz, but 4 years, here we are, middle 2002. Last album was what, 1994? So Kurt Cobain has died, and new metal has come, and Fred Durst is already on his way out at this point. Isn't that festival, the Ozfest? Hasn't that already happened? New metal on its yeah. Yeah, it's just a slow death. We're about to get into we're almost into pre-emo right here at this point. I would definitely say we're at the beginning of that scene exploding, and Tom just doesn't care about all that. He's going to give you this programmed music to your pleasure, for your consumption. So it's going to be a good one. 2002's Corporate America. Chris, what do you think of this gold-selling album? Wow, 500,000 copies.
Yeah, this is funny, and I like how because you kind of...
Did Tom buy them all?
No, his non-existent wife bought them.
Yeah, Mark,
put it under her name.
Mark, I think you kind of hit it on the head when you said that this album is a mystery, and it really is. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's weird because you could almost say this is like a Tom solo project with guest. They're not even they're not even high profile guests either. They're just these weird. Yeah, I think Frank Korsmo's son, I think, is on the album. It's all this weird kind of, and the record doesn't even. I don't think it really knows what it wants to be. You've got, mid '90s country. You got mid '90s Britpop sounding. Yeah, I don't know. I was very scratching my head. It's almost like you're listening to a random assortment of top 40 circa 95, 96. When you turn on this record, you don't necessarily know what you're... if you were to turn on this record without telling the person, I would have no idea who this is. Even with the little Boston tidbits thrown in here and there, it's okay, yeah, you'll have this weird alternative song, then oh, there's that Boston keyboard, or there's Tom's, and they're so unnaturally thrown in that it really bugged me. And it just shows more of where is Tom? Is Tom totally lost his mind? Is he just where it's somebody having a nervous breakdown, and this is the moment where it totally, it's we've already had how many, the breakdown has taken how long? What, 16 years or 14 years or whatever? Yeah, we had Third Stage, which was okay, that's kind of, then we had, the 94 record, which is even more kind of getting into that, all right, but at least there was a little bit more Boston in there, but here it's, it's funny for a guy who maintains so much control over so many years, now, oh, I'm going to let everybody else, people I really don't have any experience, take over the creative control.
There's a pile up of songwriters on this one.
Yeah, it's sort of, they're not even people you would know. They're just these inner circle
an Ariana
people.
Grande album,
right? And it was, yeah.
I'm joking. There's not that many, but for a Boston album,
Right. It was kind of funny. I was trying to think as far as how I felt after listening to the record, and I kind of equate it to imagine going to like one of like our local festivals, like Arlington Heights Fest or Woodstock or whatever, or Woodstock Fest or Cherry Fest, and imagine paying like $25-$30 in parking to get in there. Yeah, instead of like the United Center or the Allstate Arena. No, you're paying that to go in to see some random kind of like no face, faceless
the
top
Bret Michaels solo band.
Exactly, or even like or just like, or even I know, just to get Alex's blood rolling, Seventh Heaven. Imagine spending $30 in parking to go see them. That's kind of how I felt. Yeah, with this, where you feel like you're investing much more in what is deserved.
Mm-hmm.
This record.
Even your time is too valuable for this.
They pull out all the influences from like the last 10 years, and none of it sticks. It all sounds like just like these wouldn't even be considered good deep cuts on like better album songs of bands that they're trying to emulate. And I will admit, I mean, there were a few melodies like, oh, that's kind of cool. I just wish it wasn't surrounded by like 90% garbage. That's a nice chorus. Okay, that's kind of cool. Or chorus melody. Oh, that's kind of a cool riff. But again, when you've got 4 or 5 minutes worth of material that's not good, it kind of So you could kind of say, I won't say it's as bad as Van Halen 3, but we're kind of at that point where it's really like a couple good ideas that are just kind of buried a bunch below. I don't know. At this point, I don't know why he's even doing this anymore. And even again with that social justice
Chris is setting himself up for a 2 out of 10.
We're getting a 0.5.
Yeah, this is not. It was funny. I've listened to the record twice. Yeah, once 3 weeks ago. Whenever and then I'm like, okay, I can't. I want to. Yeah, there was a point where I felt like we were just pushing this because it's like, why? Do I want to spend an hour and have 2 hours kind of going into this weird? And is that the real reason why Tom kind of buried the record? Is it just I'd like to know? I know he's tried to plot the legal issues with the label, but I'm kind of wondering because this is just a mess of just too many ideas. It kind of reminds me of what I've heard as far as the '97 Motley Crue record, the Generation Swine, where people have said there was just too many ideas that had nothing to do with the other. Just being thrown together. Oh, this one why don't we try like a '90s country? Oh, let's try like alternative. Oh, let's try some progressive like Tool type metal, and then and here's some Oasis. Like it's like what. Like what? Yeah, it almost sounds like a weird compilation record of underground people nobody's has heard of. Yeah, hopefully I'm not rambling, but I just
what does that add up to you?
Again, with a few melodic moments that I liked, I'm gonna start at a 4, and I might drop, but we'll see what happens.
All right. Yeah. Chris, 4 trending downwards. My turn. This is an album that makes me wonder why we are even discussing this band. And considering that if you are not familiar with the rest of the stuff, well, we've covered Van Halen, Metallica, Pink Floyd, Queen, The Police, Nirvana, Guns N' Roses, Hendrix, and now Boston. And we're talking about the best of the best here. And the debut album certainly stands up to that. The second album definitely has moments that possibly even eclipse the debut album. Might be a little less even overall. But then what have we had? I don't know. Is it a discography that is that even belongs in this discussion? It's just getting worse, guys. I don't know. It makes me appreciate stuff like Van Halen 3 more. And even if it's nowhere near the level of Van Halen, it at least is interesting to listen to. Is what was Eddie's headspace in as far as creating interesting guitar sounds, or how would Gary mesh with the band? There's still some interest there, and the interest here is just the power's out. Like if you flip the switch and nothing comes on.
Yeah, Mark. Yeah, there's one thing I wanted to throw in. Speaking of Van Halen 3, one thing that at this point that Boston does not have is the story. I mean, at least with Van Halen 3, as screwed up of a record as that is, it's an interesting backstory as far as what was going on. There was a lot of a lot of star personalities involved. A lot of there's not. This is just a not good. Without any, it's just not good without any. Without any.
The interesting thing about this album is that you can't find it, and maybe that's
another
thing.
reason. At least Van Halen 3 is out there.
Remember when Boston was more than a feeling? Well, this album is less than a feeling.
That's your one statement.
That was right from the Rolling Stone review that I just read, actually.
That's right where he pulled it.
Please, let our savior be anyone but Boston. This album is less than a feeling.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah. Okay, so it's my turn.
Kevin. Yep.
Chris and you, Mark, just pretty much said everything that I was going to say, that this album doesn't know what it wants to be. And then I was looking up reviews just to have fun. And I'll just let this do the talking. This is by just a dude from AllMusic, but it was cracking me up. So I'm just going to read it. Rob Dwyer, here you go. It's your moment of fame on a podcast. What an appropriate title for such a lame offering by Tom Scholz. This 2002 Boston reboot flies their outdated spaceship deeper into the trite adult contemporary pop rock that they were beginning to explore on Third Stage. However, the execution here sounds almost amateurish, and the formula is well beyond its sell-by date.
We're also getting into that frontier sounding type of production. I know we're not quite there yet, but you can see that we're already into that dreaded territory.
Fans of Boston's early, edgier 70s offerings are duly warned to accept no substitutes and avoid the pain of enduring this album. That pretty much says it all for me. I'll give this one a 3.
Alex, do you diverge?
No, I'm very much in line with you guys. I was trying to remember today if I actually listened to this album all the way through before we did our taping. I think I did at least once. And then I tried to do a little cramming before our live time today. But yeah, I'm very much in the same line as you guys. It's like there's multiple times in my notes where I write for, each song I write, what band is this?
Yeah.
Because it's like, this is absolutely a Tom Scholz solo record where he was just trying to collaborate with other people. I mean, I don't know. I think probably like Chris said, it's like there's some catchy melodies and stuff on some of these songs that don't sound like Boston. And like they're not bad songs. Like if they were written for a band of that era, like mid-90s to 2000s, I would be like, well, this is actually a pretty good song if that's what it was going for. But it's like, what is this?
It's not Boston. Like, it's not. In the extreme sense.
Yeah, and I really only feel like there's maybe 3 or 4 actual sounding Boston songs on this album. I even wrote 2 on some of these. I didn't necessarily say if I liked it or I disliked it. All I wrote was, well, at least it sounds like a Boston song. So it's like, maybe I didn't
put the bar to clear at this point.
Yeah, I didn't put a whole lot of, I don't know. It just didn't have a whole lot of replay value for me. This would have been the first album with Fran and Brad on it too, which I think that's right.
Kind of sad. Yeah, this is Brad's.
It's his last
Swan song.
Swan song. Yeah, and I was watching some live versions of it, and it didn't look like the fans were really digging it as some of these songs as much either. So
I bet you on the tour for this one, he made everybody listen to this from top to bottom.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I'm going to go generous. I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 10. I basically didn't even rate Living for You live because it doesn't really count. That's a bonus track to me. So yeah, out of the 9 songs, maybe I like 3.5 of these. I don't know. So that's where I'm going to stick with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of those albums that before, when Kevin has made his famous quotable statement of, find me a bad review of Piper at the Gates of Dawn, find me a positive review of this one. I would like to know what I'm missing.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't out there long. I mean, like we said, it's not out there right now. So I
just don't think people even cared enough to review it, which is, I guess, the ultimate review in the end. But
how long has it been
here?
Out of print?
We might be the only one. We probably devoted more time listening to this album than has been, more breath that has been used on this album than any time, maybe in the history of this record. I don't know.
How long has it been out of print, or off the? Do you know?
I think it was close to right away, maybe.
Really? Wow. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, this is unfortunately the first time, that I felt like this is like homework. like I'm back in high school, or just a very difficult college course.
I'm ready to put this album aside and just have a debate on whether or not Boston is any good or not.
Yeah.
But we're here for the track by track, so let's start it off. Yeah. Kevin, did you have a good time?
No, I didn't. But we're gonna start at 1 minute and 20.
I love those pictures. Remind me of
nice.
some of those polka videos you see. What's that station on satellite? Like the horse riding channel. Yeah, they like these polka parties. And you have these
horse riding channel. I'll have to pull that one up.
Yeah.
Next time I'm not on a horse.
Yeah.
Why does everything that this man does sounds like a demo?
It does a little bit, especially the backup vocals. Yeah, are horrible.
When was the last time the guy
because he's doing it himself?
Well, was he? I mean, I don't know. I mean, like I said, there's
vocals, guitars, drums. What else did he do on this? That's it. Somebody apparently did other stuff on this. Oh, bass.
You just have a vague perception while you're listening to this, while you're trying to keep your mind awake. And you just think, this song might sound all right if they kicked the tempo up 50% and played it live. And it would be one of those songs that all the fans would kind of pretend that they know the lyrics to, but nobody knows this song.
Like this crowd that I just linked to?
Is that what this? Yeah. Okay. Well, see, look at all the people sitting down. So you got the 10 people up front that enjoy this song, and everybody else is just thinking about a BBW.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to go to a BBW, but then they're going to play Smokin'.
Look at that guy with the stash, right? Like, center left.
Yeah, it's great.
He's just, he's asking the people right there if you should go grab some beer.
Like, that's absolutely what that is.
You want any buds?
They're only clapping because they're on camera, maybe.
Yeah. That's Tom's family right there. That's his extended family. Cousins, well-wishers.
When you mention why does everything he does sound like a demo? All right, it's 2002. This guy has been doing this at this point for 30 plus years, I guess.
Technically, yeah.
And not one time did he ever consider, the first album sold probably millions of copies. I probably don't even need to make another record again. Let me just try seeing what it's like working with a producer. Let me just try it. If it doesn't work, whatever, no big deal. Then I'll know for a fact that they can't touch this Boston sound, and I do need to do it myself. But not one time over there. He didn't trust anybody from the jump. And it's
they were lying to start.
Yeah, it's like just one time you could have at least just tried it. I mean, maybe he did, and that's not documented or something. And there's some horrific story, and he's like, "Yeah, I told you so. Nobody can do the Boston sound like me." He didn't even give anybody ever a chance.
I think the mold in the studio is getting too much of him.
Yeah,
guy emerges every 10 years from this dusty studio like a ghoul.
and can you even think of another band that could be carried by one person for so long? Yes. Pink Floyd went through phases where it was Syd Barrett's band, then it was Richard Wright's band, then it was their best era was Gilmour and Waters working together. But then Waters carried it. Then there's always somebody carrying it. But a band that has lasted for 30 years, I don't know. Like even like James Hetfield carries Metallica, but Kirk still contributes and everything. I was trying to think of another comparison. Yeah, and he's more on the business side of things. But I'm just trying to think of like the level of genius you need to be. Tom, you're not that smart. It's just nobody is. Like it's MIT or not, you need another brain in the sphere to be able to bounce ideas off of, or to really bring something, or just to tell you something sucks.
Yeah,
because nobody's willing to say that.
Yeah, I didn't have any my note. For the opening song is just it's just covered with cliche, desperate, generic, lazy.
Can we talk about that ending for a second?
I wrote that in my notes. I hate the "do you want to do it again?" No, I don't, Tom.
Do you have
a timestamp? Does anybody have
It's the very end. Who allowed that?
3:43.
There it is.
God.
The answer to that is no.
You know what that reminds me of?
Von
What's
Groove?
that? Von Groove.
Yes.
There it is. Why aren't we reviewing that?
Yeah, can we please just put that on? Because we both thought of the same thing.
Once is not enough.
Somebody link that.
I'll be honest, I'm not really down with Von Groove, so what do I'm looking for?
I got it. I got it. Where do I put it in the chat?
No, put it in the sync tube.
Put it.
Enter where it says enter YouTube video.
Okay, here it comes. Well, isn't that going to screw up the queue then?
No, they've got
anymore.
an updated version. There it is.
Okay.
Let it
It's literally the same voice.
Actually, we don't need to do this. This is fantastic.
This is Von Groove. Once is not enough.
Earlier.
Let's do it again. Come on, baby. Once is not enough.
At least the guitar sounds better.
Yeah. Why does this sound a million times better? Wow.
Come on. Oh.
Even the intro here.
I like why we got to hear it again.
That was great. Let's do it again. Come on, baby.
I mean, that's so stupid, but there's more effort put into that. Some little 80s band with their goofy, album opener.
It's album opener.
That's the opener, right? That's the career opener. I think.
Career opener.
It is.
Von Groove blowing Tom off the stage.
Watch that music video when you get a chance.
Brawn over brain, I guess.
Without dwelling too much on this, probably one of the laziest written choruses. Hey, I wanted you to know I wish you were mine, and I just wanted you to know I had a good time. I had a really good time. What a
didn't even process that.
I was looking at the liner notes of the CD because that's all it was released on. It didn't even get the vinyl treatment. I'm sure Tom was bummed out about that. But somebody on Discogs upload the scans of the entire booklet, and the little footnote next to "I had a good time" is "It's the journey, not the destination. So have a good time." No,
I feel like you could get better lyrics out of a fortune cookie.
He literally credited it. Here are the credits.
Credit China Walk for the fortune cookie.
No. He calls it "Sexy Girl's Voice," Julia Van Damme. He credited her.
The wife of John Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, I guess.
Starting for work. Here's $20 here.
Here's $20.
Let me see what I got
I
in
need
my
a
wallet.
female in my life.
Okay.
She wants
my recording studio.
She wants the splits again.
She thinks she's going to get writing credit on a Boston album. It's going to make a little bit of money for her.
Oh
man,
I
think I found her. I found her Facebook. There she is. Oh my god. Boy, her Facebook is literally just her posts around plants and mushrooms. Oh no!
Sure. Yeah.
That makes
Yeah,
total
with
sense.
that experience.
That was guessable.
that and the whole deep voice thing too that we totally did.
Yeah,
need in
what's
this.
with that? Is that Tom on vocals?
I really
It
had a
is.
good
I see him
time.
credited.
I really had a
we're
good
still
time.
kind of continuing the lazy vocals just in general too, where it just doesn't sound like there's any passion in those horrible backup vocals.
Oh.
Is that Brad or is that Tom?
I don't know.
It's going to be a mystery.
It sounds cheap. It sounds cold, and it sounds it just like you said, a demo. It sounds like somebody in their bedroom or in their or in their garage
trying to sing quietly because mom and dad are trying to sleep.
I mean,
like the Snoop Dogg.
I mean, if you were to
type
show
lyrics.
like this, you look at this is the same band that recorded that Monster 1976, and again we're at that point where now we're going to be comparing them to that because that was in their wheelhouse. I mean, it's not like they could. I mean, they did it before. Why? I mean, I don't think I've ever seen any like this kind of weird drop from such a from just a top
this woman sells potions at the craft fair. That's for sure.
It absolutely does.
Every craft.
This
But
has
yeah,
got to be her. There's nobody that like PETA, Greenpeace, Tom is hiring but her.
Absolutely.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, look at she's got her post on. This is Julia Van Dam.
God, she's gonna listen to this.
She's got right here. She's got editing the lyric video for Stay. What is this? Oh, that might be her song. Never mind. It's not a
Spending the
Boston
weekend foraging for wild mushrooms with Tom Schultz.
thing. Wait, it says that?
No. I added Tom Schultz, but she did spend the weekend foraging for wild
Sitting
mushrooms.
there just looking for shrooms, and they should be making a better music.
Right. Are we gonna?
Yeah, let's move on. It's her personal life.
Track one, and we're so far off the rails.
We're
It's
already
not
deep
even-
into the backup singer's Facebook. Thanks, Alex. Keep it coming. Can you look up Anthony Cosmo, the writer of the next song while we're at it? What is Mr. Cosmo doing
A chip
today?
off the old block he was.
Yeah. He's all over this album.
I'm feeling a little bit better. I think we're okay.
He's the little kid Colosimo in A Bronx Tale. Colosimo. He worked his way up. Where he could finally sing on the Boston album. He did enough. He's a made man now.
Too bad the album is pulled out of print the instant it's released.
His real name is Anthony Migliaccio. Guys, don't say anything bad.
Oh my god, I'm crying.
Well, let's see let's get his participation track in. Oh, he wrote 3 songs on this one. Good for you,
Yeah,
Anton.
he's so happy to get a cut of the royalties finally. Tom pulls the album.
He has 2 solo albums. He's got Cosmo.
You know what I was
Alien.
thinking too? His real last name is Migliaccio. How much you want to bet Tom was like, all right, you can be in the band, but we're changing your last name to Cosmo because it's got to be space themed.
That makes this even worse. That's. But this is a serious album with deep meaning. Go to greenpeace.com and PETA.com and all that. This is. Gotta take this seriously. Want to do it again? No.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way we're going to start off. And track number 2, Stare Out Your Window. Maybe this is written by that home invader who's decided to come in.
What's with that?
But let's start
Brad
this one.
Delp and his toilet cameras.
Oh, jeez. Let's just stop this now.
Stare into your toilet. I guess you got that.
Can't even start track number 2. All right, let's start this at 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Oh. Hang on 1 second as that intro plays. Didn't that just sound like...
Wonderwall.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Sounds like Third Eye Blind.
And it's absolutely like Gin Blossoms.
Gin Blossom. That's literally what I wrote.
God. theme song to some schlocky teen 90s.
Yeah, I've been watching the OC, and that is straight out of that show.
Yeah, it's a montage song. Like you got the beat,
Like whatever the American Pie exploitation film would be licensing this one.
So anyway, so this is not a Boston song. I mean, again, like Alex said, outside of this, just a normal Jim Blossom or pick any of your 90s like coffee house bands, and this would be fine. Okay, it's warm, it's sunny, but this is not what we needed in 2002. And it's funny. It seems like he's got, like, every time he comes out with a new album, it's the music that he's bringing forward is even farther back. Like now we're like 94, 95, where in 86 with Third Stage we were only like 82, 4 years, but now it's like 8, 9 years, almost 10 years. Yeah, between styles, and I can't imagine. I mean, he's the one writing off on all this. Like, I know that he brought in these other people, but I can't imagine that they just kind of went over his head. And, I mean,
well, maybe that's why something tells me that's why he was doing it, and that's the whole reason why he threw old what's his name? Hang on, I gotta find him. Not Sib. Who was the original drummer? The guy who wrote my favorite song on
Was it another wasn't Fran, right?
Another Fran,
Jim,
yeah.
it was Jim Mazdy. He wrote my favorite Boston song of all time, A New World, if you remember that one.
Oh, yes.
At this point, I feel like he's just throwing his friends a bone. He's like, well, these guys need a start in the industry, and if it's under the Boston moniker, it's probably going to get a lot more eyes and ears than if, Cosmo went and put out his own album, which he ended up doing. I don't know how it did, but let's just say if it wasn't for Boston, I don't know how many people would have known about him. Who's to say? But that's what I think. It's like, all right, the money's been made. Inventions have been made. Tom doesn't need to put out any new music, so he's just doing it for himself at this point. And the thing about this song is I actually like this song.
Yeah, I didn't hate it either. For what it is,
it's a good song. It's just not a Boston song.
Yeah, so how do you?
It's like a catchy chorus. It's a catchy melody.
Yeah, it's like a deep cut Oasis song. Like, okay, there's better, but it's for what it is.
Yeah.
I have a bit of trivia for this song.
Poorly
it's kind of
produced, of course, because you got the rubbish drum machine once again.
Yeah,
this is the only song in the Boston catalog that does not feature Tom on guitar or keyboards.
I can believe it. Yeah, there's no.
Because
I would have had no idea it's a Boston
strummy
song. Yeah.
But is it the only song in the Boston catalog to feature Tom on drums and nothing else? Probably.
This guy just needs to stop.
Wait, is he
probably one of the most radical shifts
when he's credited? When he's credited as drummer on this stuff, is he actually behind the kit, or is he just programming the drums?
Because I don't know.
He pushes a button.
That's what I'm guessing. But on the Wikipedia and stuff, usually they differentiate that, and it doesn't say program.
I'm just thinking, like, you know what? Programming is the same thing as drumming,
Yeah, I could do it better. It's just, we've made the Vinnie Vincent comparison before, so I don't need to make it again. But it's just that perfectionism that drums are loose and groovy by nature. The push-pull against rhythm is what makes, like John Bonham interesting, for example. And I don't know. Some people don't like that, and some people go to extremes to disclude it from their music. It's weird.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I'm looking at the Wikipedia here. I'm going to put this in the chat. Go ahead and look at the credits, the personnel on these albums. Why are there like 10 credits for digital transfers? Did he give people credit? Did he give people credits for sending MP3s via email?
They were all CC'd on the same chain.
Yeah, so they all get a credit in the liner notes.
I know who these people are. Steve Churchyard, where are you?
Yeah,
I don't know what you did for this.
I sent a low-res MP3 to Tom once in an email, and he decided to credit me on the album.
How do you think they pronounce Gary Fiel? P-I-H. I'm at the point I'm just gonna laugh at this guy's name.
He's been there.
Wait,
I think Mr. Science Theater just laughing at the credits.
He did
Gary
image editing. He did image editing.
I'm laughing. I'm laughing. One person didn't do the whole artwork for the album. There was somebody did the front and somebody else did the back. Wow.
And
Really spending the money there.
What was the photography?
Throwing the money.
too?
Yeah.
And several people edited. Wait, who's the last guy?
John Kalodner.
Kalodner was
He just was himself.
in John Kalodner's story.
I can't believe that he was involved. Wait, this wasn't.
Oops,
Well, you know what's funny?
I don't
You know what's
understand.
funny?
What did
You know
he
who that?
do?
You know who
He's an
John
A&R
Kalodner is,
man.
right? Yeah.
Look him up. He's got a resume.
Yeah, he's a very Svengali looking kind of, but yeah, he was like the main guy in the '80s for Atlantic Records. I mean, he was the one who made Aerosmith and White Snake look the way they did. Of Poison.
I just don't understand the production of John Kalodner as John
John
Kalodner.
That's what he
Kalodner
did.
in the
He-
John Kalodner story.
He just showed up and it was like
John
wow, okay,
Klonopin.
here we go. Now we gotta. Yeah.
Oh man, I can't believe that.
God, I love that smile.
I would love to be Alyssa Andreoa's neighbor and be like, yeah, I worked for Boston back in the day. Yeah, what day? 2002.
2002.
Puts that on her resume for Upwork.
Dimitar Schmidt, where are you? Live studio session engineer. How many of your takes are actually used on the album? I'm guessing none.
I've never seen
But
so
I
much
hope you
money
got
thrown
paid.
around for just nothing. Like what kind of? It just.
I look him up and I see a former East German handball player. I don't think that's it.
Could be though.
Probably.
Who even knows? Here's a
All right.
LinkedIn page
All
without a
right,
picture.
Let's get to the ever so famous title track. If you wanted to dial down to the serious, you got the good time in. You got the creeper home invader off the list. You want to know what's going on in corporate America. You want Tom to impart some wisdom to you about which corporations to trust and which ones not to trust. In 2002, he's telling you
Turn
to
to
go
Boston. You
go
turn
all
to
in
town.
on Enron right now, or is this around that time? This has got to be around that time, right?
Yeah. Somewhere right around there.
Put your money with Madoff. This is corporate America.
I will admit on this one, a bit of a guilty pleasure.
Yeah,
This song
I,
is.
This is what I was talking about earlier with the as far as moments. I mean, that chorus, aside from the content, is a very
it's
strong,
cornier than a corn maze.
Yeah,
The
but
lyrics.
the musical foundation I thought was great. I just wish they had something else to say around it. Like, okay, it kind of makes you want to write it. Like, I want to write my own lyrics to this song. I can probably,
I felt like
Yeah.
it was very Devo-ish to me.
You know what?
Which
in the
Yeah.
verses kind of reminded me. You know the band Roxette, that Swedish kind of pop rock band from the. She's Got
heard
the
of
Look
them.
was one. Yeah, but the way that the two singers in the band, if you go and listen to how they how they harmonize, is very similar to what you had there in the verses. I almost had to remind myself again. This is an album of different styles. Yeah, where it's like, okay, this is a Boston
And
song. I guess,
with
but,
a beat like this, the drum machine works a little bit better.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that
this
helps.
is one of those things where you hear the song and you're like, imagine if this came out like on third stage, like this was the direction and the production was that big too.
Yeah,
Like that
When
would
it
have been
kicks in. When it kicks in,
because
it's great.
it
Yeah.
does
It
get
helps,
pretty.
yeah.
It does get pretty heavy and. Like, yeah, there's some of that, afterburner style vibes on it. And it's like, yeah, man, like it's a cool direction and it kind of makes sense for like the spacey, futuristic Boston. But in like 2002, it's kind of weird. But,
Yeah.
and then I wrote
way
again, Tom's monotone speaking part again. I said, it reminds me of David Lee Roth on some of those a different kind of truth songs where it's like, all right, old man, just get off the stage at this point.
And it's got some. Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
I do enjoy the way you mentioned the spacey sound, that the way that the cadence of the vocal melody in the verse almost sounds like a chorus of aliens.
Yeah.
It's got kind of like an aliens in a starship feeling, like what are these people doing to their planet type of perspective, which works with the theme and everything. I will say that the intro here is just a bit weird. We didn't really kind of skip through it here, but I mean, it's kind of got that.
It sounds cold and low production.
So right there,
yeah.
what he said, somebody is complaining about polyvinyl chloride, and no joke, I was cutting a PVC pipe in my garage while I was listening to this, like no joke. And I was like, okay, you know what is this problem this guy has with PVC? Because you know what, I'm kind of a fan of PVC. I like it, and so I decided to look up. I go heed Tom's direction, go to the back of the album, start punching in www.whatever, and what's wrong with PVC? And apparently it's just this kind of thing that like it's harmful over the span of like 80 years, but compared to all the things that harm you, it just doesn't really matter or anything. It's just like weird thing that people just fixate on. But you know, it's that disconnect you feel like Tom. Like maybe you should spend less time worrying about PVC and spend more time writing some quality music that does not sound like a demo tape for the last 25 years.
You know, it's funny. I did as far as
you know what? Give up the music and go design a better toilet. Then, if you're so into ridding the world of PVC, you know, I just feel he's the kind of guy that'll sit with his $150 million and he'll sit there and he'll have some gold-plated non-PVC toilet while the rest of us has to poop in a pot because the guy's so against PVC. I don't know what his problem is with PVC right off the bat, too.
I like PVC.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Again, Boston was never known for. I mean, they were one of the ultimate kind of good time bands. What he's doing here is more of something you'd expect from like Neil Young or Springsteen talking about the evils of the world. Yeah, I mean,
or even Pink Floyd. But
exactly,
Pink Floyd would do it. It's an insult to compare these lyrics to, you know, love him or hate him, Roger Waters.
Yeah, there'll be a little bit of tongue-in-cheek thing. Yeah, again, but that was there.
We got to talk about Raj after the show because he's making headlines again.
Yeah, I saw he was on Joe Rogan a few days ago. I was kind of watching some of the clips. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, this just comes off as pretentious, just kind of, just schlock. I mean, it's like, especially in 2002, nobody, even in the extreme sense, probably didn't care. Yeah.
You're just not going to get that message. It's not going to resonate from a band
getting the message
who
either from Boston in 2002. Like, this this is important stuff. Okay, the corporations
after you sold millions of records. Like it sounds a little different that way coming from a band that comes up saying these things. So it doesn't really work in the reverse, or it just doesn't. I don't know.
Maybe if Tom would have written better music the last couple albums, more people would be around to hear his all important message about PVC. But no, he wrote some garbage and now nobody cares. So nobody's listening to his PVC warning.
I mean, what was kind of the big protest band of this era? Like, was this too early for?
This would have been Rage Against the Machine era.
Anti-Flag.
Well, Rage was more like early to mid-90s, but they were still putting out records like during this time.
They had a record, I think, in 2000.
Wasn't it? A Battle of Los Angeles, I think, came out around this time.
Yeah, the last.
Yeah, maybe Tom was listening to that and he said, "That's my '90s influence for this song."
I'm sorry, Battle
every
was
song
99.
has a '90s influence,
even though it doesn't sound anything like a. Yeah.
He heard Rage Against the Machine and he wanted to make a Boston version of it, and I put Boston in humongous air quotes.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to another very Boston song called With You, starting at 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
The stars shine much brighter, falling into this time.
I kind of struggled with because is not a Boston song. I did enjoy it. I mean, it has that Sheryl Crow kind of Rosanna Cash type of
Is
vibe.
this Miss Let's Do It Again? Just the same?
No.
I'm just wondering. Okay.
No.
Is it with? And again, I'm all for heavy guitar. I mean, yeah, just being a guitar player. I mean, that's my thing. But I think the distorted guitar here, I think, is too loud. I think it takes a little much too away from what from the overall vibe of the song. I would have much preferred like a slide guitar or something kind of maybe on a telly or whatever. But
That's true. That even though it's so signature Boston,
it is. But yeah, I just felt
it's almost like an excuse or like a Hail Mary to make it be a Boston song.
Yeah, I know. I get it, but
the only thing.
Yeah, just the music lover and in me just I couldn't let that go. I just one moment you want to stick it in there and it just doesn't fit. This is too much. I mean, this is again mid-90s like kind of folk country.
It's very much the end of the movie, character returning to their roots, like I don't know, like I'm not going to say Mean Girls, but kind of like the chick flick, coming back to her hometown and realizing the hearth of the home cooking, and
it's a Lifetime.
It's
movie.
a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, it's
funny.
I don't hate it. Again, I can agree with Chris that I enjoy it as a musical piece on its own. It's as a part of a discography.
No, not at all.
I would love to license this song and be like, oh, this is kind of a cool song. I think it would fit in my movie really nicely. And then you find out that it's Boston and Tom wants a fortune for this stupid little song that he doesn't even sell anymore.
You know what? He didn't write it, so you could probably license it.
You know, it's funny. But again, we're talking about a band in their prime. I mean, the Guns N' Roses did Patience, which is probably which is very similar to this. But it worked because that was, because it still had that, whatever you want to call as far as who they were. This is just
charisma.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not that. This is, again, that coffee house kind of...
Like a Snake Dance by Exile.
Yeah.
Well, Patience is just is a great moment in time for the band, too.
Yeah.
Kind of a,
so
after Appetite.
Yeah, so here it's just, I feel bad because, again, you have some of these moments where it's just like, it's unfair that they're on this record because they're brought down by the context. Yeah, because, this is... Again, even what your comment, Mark, as far as being the was it the end or the opening song and like some girly kind of
the end of a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, you just removed it even more for me now. Yeah, as far as I was already kind of like now I'm like really not. Yeah,
it's the soundtrack to the Snow Globe.
If Kimberly Dam or Kimberly Dahme or whatever, however you say her last name, submitted this on a demo tape, I'd be like, oh, okay, let's see what else you have. It's not a bad piece of writing.
Yeah, this is nice. It's nice background.
Somehow it ended up on Boston's Corporate America in the cleanup spot.
Yeah, and what does that have to do with Corporate America? How does this follow up Corporate America? What's the flow here? Oh, wait, it's like going over a rumble strip.
After you inhale too much PVC, you're going back to your hometown for treatment.
I don't understand any of the placement of this album. This album is terrible. Doesn't make any sense at all.
Through. Come on.
To go from the genius of Pink Floyd and the way they constructed albums to this rumble strip of songs.
Rumble strip.
It's not even a rumble strip. It's like a rumble strip made out of curbs.
It's the trucker falling asleep on the highway. Hits the siren and you see the whole
it's a
trailer
road that
swinging
has
back.
split in an earthquake, and you're trying to traverse that with this album.
All right, let's move on. Let's supposedly flip the. No, we probably wouldn't flip this time.
Not this one. No flipping this record.
Someone
flip it into the trash.
Starting at 2:35.
is another song that, yet again, has a few bones in there that might be the foundation for something good. But yet again, we have gone from, the Sheryl Crow end of your Hallmark chick flick in the early 2000s to sounding like a B or C grade movie from 1987 that, again, I like, and I can't deny that what you played at the very beginning is kind of, I could dig that. A guitar solo comes from absolutely nowhere. And you just get this goofy chorus that is just a little too creepy with the lyrics. I don't know, the song is a mess. It's an absolute mess.
It's totally a mess. It's another one of those. Just get a producer.
Well, guess what? You get to hear it again on the next record in a slightly different form. So get ready for that.
Wow. Like crap that's been sitting on the sun for a couple of days.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
You're just recycling songs from this record.
Let's just say there's a different singer on the next version.
Someone 2.0.
Why would you recycle songs from this album? You have an opportunity to cut some new tracks. And let's go to my worst album and try it again. You want to do it again?
Want to do it again?
Let's see.
Somebody's got to tell this guy no. This song, I could like it. I don't know. I feel like I'm the only one with opinion on this one because this song doesn't matter.
I wrote this. The only thing I wrote on this one is at least it sounds like a Boston song.
Oh, that's your repeated comment. Yeah,
that's it. That's all I got for it.
Yeah. And what did I have? Yeah, the keyboard kind of reminds me.
They have the claps. I do enjoy the. Do I enjoy it? I don't know. It's just when they bring back the claps, you're like,
yeah. Or I'm just telling myself that I enjoy it because I heard it before.
I'm just telling myself that I heard claps, so I kind of know where I am here.
That's it. That's the beacon.
Yeah, it's before I smash into a rock. It's the little lighthouse telling me I'm in Boston. But you know what? I'm sure I'm going to slam my bow into a iceberg coming up here.
Wall. Yeah.
We get a back-to-back dose of A Cosmo here.
A Cosmo,
wine connoisseur,
buddy.
We moving. It's funny that I know you. Yeah, that keyboard.
Turn it off.
Yeah, that keyboard
your
intro.
third singer's son demo gets
Chris, we're way beyond someone.
Okay, I'll let you guys.
He's still going.
All right, I'm trying to be productive, but it's okay. We're just trying to get through this disaster. But
that's all good. On the plus side, I'm going to tell you right away, the next two songs have actual drums, apparently.
But there's a big
because A-Cos was behind the kit for this one.
They got thrown in with the addition.
A-Cos.
Oh, he wasn't. Who was on drums for this one?
Oh man,
do I even care?
It's not Akon. It's his brother A-Cos.
Let's start at 155.
Probably one of the biggest Tool ripoffs that I've seen, especially in that. I know you didn't play that, but there's a kind of ping-ponging riff. You know what I'm talking about? That sounds like a Tool.
The bass sounds very Tool.
Yeah, Kevin, if you could play 120, just so I can get just point that out and then move on. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It drove me nuts.
Do we give him credit for at least being in the appropriate time frame, though?
Yeah, it was good. Like I said, I was more just annoyed, by that. This is probably one of the most unoriginal, though it sounds okay. I did kind of like the vocals, especially in the
same.
in the chorus. But again, they sound like
I was going to say this is like a Creed demo.
Yeah,
No,
it
sounds like
it has that. Yeah, it
nobody
has
was
that.
asking for it, but it sounds like the filler Papa Roach.
A little bit, yeah.
And who was asking for that? But see, the thing is, even with that disparaging comment, I feel like if the entire album was this, I would have appreciated the mood. That if he would have been grungy and, kind of matched that angsty, just vague, like times are good and the stock market is doing well or something, and pre 9/11, or this is post 9/11, but it was written pre 9/11, but like, we just need a vague reason to be angsty, and so we sing about stuff like this, and it's that. Like,
not
on
a Boston record though. This is just like I don't.
But
know.
if you got to go all in on it, then if he went all in on it, I would have appreciated it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Mark? He should have hired more ACAs then.
Maybe
that's what should have.
Maybe I should be listening to ACAs.
Imagine ACAs. Like, this took 4 years. Imagine coming to Tom. 4 years. You're a high school music prodigy or whatever. You're going into college. You submit your songs. You flunk out of college. Probably quit 2 jobs, and your songs still aren't released on the Boston album because of how long this takes.
Can I point out
gets
something?
credited for supplying the alarm clock song, Mr. Bill Ryan. Thank you.
I have to point out something, and again, I mentioned it earlier. As far as when you have these little Boston
Nightstand
moments,
clock 5. Thanks for telling me it was Shrek the Nightstand Clock. I'll be sure to listen to it.
You know what? I wanted that sound on my album. Call that guy up.
I want to know what all these people got
sample the
paid for their little brief, like 1 second moments. Yeah, like how do you?
This guy was crediting everybody just to make himself look bigger.
Yeah.
I don't know what. But yeah, again, there's a moment on here, and like I've said before, where just to remind you that you're listening to a Boston song where it totally doesn't fit at all. The keyboard section, kind of deep into the song, around 421. If you could play, Kevin.
Sure.
This is stupid.
It was fine. The riff, you can end with the riff. I mean, it worked for Tool. You might as well just go all in.
What is the reason for having a little keyboard jazz?
Again,
for
like
the
I said,
last
like remember,
seconds of the song.
They've done it before.
Tom credited himself for that. His organ is in there.
I would have hated to have had to done the accounting for this record as far as all the texts that were going right and left. Like, okay, I'm gonna go. Like, it must have been a mess when if they had to audit this. Yeah, I mean, I can't
just imagine them rolling in the organ just for the last 6 seconds of "Turn It Off." Roll that thing back.
We see what's this one for? Who was that mark for an alarm clock sound? Okay, who's this?
Let's put that in. Bill Ryan.
Okay,
credited for the alarm clock sound.
They've got a creek.
I'm waiting for the IRS to come after her.
Record company had to create a stamp for this one because they were cutting so many checks.
This guy's just trying to make himself look big so he can push the record label around.
I kind of wondering what Frank Talarcio, what percussion loop we're going to hear.
He tapped his
song.
He tapped his finger. No.
He pushed a demo button on the drum machine.
Hang on. Hey, you see, this guy's name is incredible. Additional musicians, Dow Brain. Dow Brain.
That's a made-up name, Tom. Nobody's buying that one. The guy's making up names for his credits.
Guy. Find Dow Brain. Ask him what he's doing.
Dow Brain. Alex, Facebook. Dow Brain.
I'm on it.
Dow.
How do you spell that?
Just like Dow Jones Industrial Average.
Dow and Brain. Just as it sounds.
Well, let's move on to Crying. No, not and the Aerosmith song. Not even the Jeff Paris / Vixen song. No, this is Tom's Take. In 2002.
Cosmos Takes.
Actually, no, it's not. Akaz Takes in 2002. He's crying in the rain.
Got it, Dalbrain.
You know, I gotta say, I might check out Anton's solo album because he's kind of 3 out of 3 for me right now. I've been joshing on him, but like his 3 contributions I kind of like them all.
Yeah, I like the choruses are strong. I mean, they've got a catchy. It was one of the few moments I did remember. Yeah, from this.
I mean, he's just ripping off bands of that era, so he's not doing anything original, but it works. He's good at it.
I'm kind of
real tight. Close your eyes, real tight, and you can just picture the music video for the song. Like it's playing at Target on the TVs while you're selecting a CD.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I am kind of wondering if Noel Gallagher was ghostwriting.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
This is very Oasis. Yeah, this one is for sure.
But again, it made me feel good though. I didn't walk away from this going like, screw this. Yeah.
Is this one that
has not a Boston song, but
any bits of Boston on this one? Like, is there anything readily identifiable to tell you like what planet you're on?
Let me see.
When you listen to this song,
no hand clap.
Oh wait, no, I did have it at 2:32. There is a solo that is very time. Yeah, Kevin, can you play it?
Yeah, let's get a little bit.
Hold on.
If you told me
now, I want to know what it would sound like if Liam from Oasis sang this song. Because
I know, yeah.
Plus, with the bass, like Oasis's bass is never that busy. I kind of want to hear this.
Yeah.
Swap the vocal.
Why don't you cover this?
I might. You know, I thought about that actually. Like earlier this week, like if I were to ever do like an open mic night or something, maybe I'd cover "Stare Out Your Window" and "Crying." And just and everybody would hear it and be like, "What song is that? Is that from some like '90s movie? Like, what is that? Oh no, it's Boston."
No. What you have to preface it with too? You go up there and you say, "Hey, I'm going to do a little Boston for you guys tonight," and then you just stare out your window and cry.
Watch the smiles very quickly.
You could do it the other way. With you, you could pull that one out. There's like 3 or 4 songs you could do that with on this record, but you could be like that movie that just came out a couple years ago where the Beatles didn't exist, but the guy knew all the Beatles songs. It could just be like, this is my own song. Just came up with it last night. It's called "With You."
Yeah,
and nobody's gonna know. Kimberly name, she doesn't know what's going. Dom, she doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah,
you can pull these off.
I'm trying to figure out. I'm kind of torn on my rating because again, there's songs on here. They're just not Boston songs, but they're not, again, bad. But do I punish them more?
Honestly, I think you should. I really think.
I might drop it a little bit.
What other band in our discography stooped to this level?
Yeah, I think I'll do. You can rate me for 3.5. Yeah,
Eddie Van Halen did not put like Wolfie's demos. Did he? Like, is there anything on Different Kind of Truth that would have any kind of nonsense like that on it? I don't know, like
Different Kind of Truth was kind of good.
There's some solid.
I mean, like what other band did we cover that even came close to stooping to that? And we've got some Flash Gordons we've covered. We've got some like Saint Anger's. Like Saint Anger, you had the effort. You had at least had the effort put into it, and
but again, it has an interesting backstory. Again, here we don't have that.
Well, and even Saint Anger has they went all in on the vibe of the time, and that was bold for them.
Yeah,
maybe not. I don't know. Nobody stooped this low. I can't. that comes to mind, where your third singer's son is basically carrying the record.
That would be a good bonus episode. Which band stooped the lowest on a record? What's the record that a band
when has that ever
lowest?
worked? Yeah. Dig up an example out of musical history where the Scab's son has saved the band. I think that's a working formula.
All right,
yeah.
All right, well, you can see his live signing clip in the chat.
Live signing, he probably does horror conventions.
You know
or
what I'm
something.
thinking?
Like,
you know what I'm
you
thinking?
here?
Somebody, when they're like moving house, is gonna go up to their attic and just find like this messed up, like broken CDR up in their attic. It's like, oh yeah, I got that from the Anton Cosmos signing in New York from Best Buy in 2002. It's been sitting up here since. Never even listened to it.
Look, did you see him in the signing too?
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, this is
Look,
fantastic.
it looks like he
He's got a
should be in
great
from
look
first to
going on.
last.
What is that on the news? What is that? Channel 2 from where? From what city?
I'm guessing
Sangertown
yeah.
Square Mall, New York.
Where?
Yeah.
Look
He's
him
at the
shake
FYE.
hands.
Yeah.
This
Still around.
guy's.
Yeah.
You should see his look now though. He's rocking the aviators with the beard.
I think he looks worse now.
I mean, yeah, he does.
One
He
comment
does.
on this one. I am so proud of you, Ant. Keep on going strong, hun. We love you.
Oh.
Keep on keeping on.
You're playing
All right,
Let's move on.
Yeah, didn't mean to fall in love. Right back to the heavy stuff. 1 minute.
This is the song, I mentioned it like 3 weeks ago, that I did have what might be a life playlist song on this album. Surprisingly enough, and maybe I'm losing everybody with this, but this song just stuck with me. And maybe it's because it's the most Boston song. You have the claps, you have the organ breakout, you have that acoustic guitar just slapping the microphone, and it's not necessarily that it can stand the among the greats of the artist by any means. It's more the story of the song and just being kind of this deep in their discography, and it's almost like it's good because it's not. But you can still see that there's still something there. It's still alive. It's not dead. The Boston ethos is still within. There's a moment in there when the guitar jumps in. It almost feels like it's going to be more than a feeling. It's got this smooth.
That's what I hate about it. I hate that dun 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 dun.
Yeah, I don't
dun,
know.
dun,
My
dun,
my
dun.
opening word for the song was just uck.
It's just kind of smooth, and it's got that sound of a band that used to headline the main stage at the festival, and now they're the 1 p.m. slot on the small stage.
Or they're reminiscing at the bar farther down the street.
Parking lot. And this is the song they're playing. One off the new album, guys. Here we go. And everybody's walking by like, that's Boston? Wow. I'm checking
out set lists.
Yeah.
Does this one have some kind of live performance that might make you fall in love with it? I don't know. This song has an interesting, like, it just connects. The moment of it connects with me. I'm not going to make any argument that it belongs anywhere in the, on the playlist next to Silent Running and Girl Gone Bad and all the great songs.
So you're saying that this song, you like this song because it reminds you of a sad old man who's sagging and bagging on the 1 p.m. stage.
I'm the kind of guy that loves those types of shots. Like when the team loses in football, they show the opposing team just with those blank stares on the. I love that type of direction. I love seeing the good and the bad. This is the losing team in the Super Bowl.
Wait, so what you're
they
don't know what happened. They blew it.
Pan back over to Fred Durst or something, or Lincoln Park.
Yeah, so what you're saying, this is essentially like the pity sex song. Yeah, this is the...
I suppose, it's whatever's
they
left
had
that the band had to give.
30-point lead, and they just blew it in the fourth.
Yeah, and you just kind of have your, this guy used to win championships, and now he's just kind of left watching everything else pass him by. And that's what this song is to me.
That's what we need, a pity lay song. Yeah, no thanks.
This is hilarious. I'm so glad we did this album. Oh, my spirits are rising.
Anybody else even kind of like this song? Even
let's just say this was a cram at the 11th hour song for me.
I said,
give it another try.
I said clunky. The guitars are clunky, and the keyboards I thought were even clunkier. I don't honestly.
I want to know. I want to know what Curly and Janet's contributions were to the writing process.
These are made up names.
No,
he's probably making up Wikipedias for these people too.
Curly Smith on the drums.
Yeah,
Janet Minto.
Yeah, Tom in a dark basement.
On the drums for this one.
Yeah, on the drums.
I searched Curly Smith, and the first thing that comes up is the Boston Band fan site. So he's relegated to deep links of a trivia site for the band. There's a picture of him. Does he exist?
Wait, but it says Tom is credited for the drums too. So,
how many people need to be credited for a drum track like this? You're sitting there debating when the open hi-hat should ring.
Who was duking it out on the sticks for this one?
Doesn't look like they played this one on the tour, but they were playing. Yeah, they were playing pretty much everything else. They played With You on this tour. I wonder how that went over.
Guys, I have a quote from Mr. Smith here. Curly believes that the universal sound lies within each and every one of us, stating, "We are all inextricably woven into the sound fabric of this planet. We have just forgotten how to listen. It is literally all around us. Our world is imbued with the spirit of music and the inspiration of creativity." The guy's surrounding himself with craft fair essential oils people.
Yeah, that's a little pretentious
and
garbage.
You know what? Listen to this. Curly was a welcome addition to the band. Toured with them in 1995 and 1997. So he's
he was on the Walk-On tour.
He's getting his right.
He clocked in a few times.
And he had a memorable drum/guitar jam with Schultz on the 97 tour. Who remembers that?
No, wait. This was the drummer where I was watching a music video of a different band. And I'm like, that guy looks kind of familiar. And it's like, oh yeah, I saw him drumming for Boston in like 97. I forgot what. I'll go back and I'll find it.
He looks like modern day Sammy Hagar if you click on the link.
His entire career could be summarized in the two words, I forgot. Chester Thompson, he is not.
This is just like that Mystery Science Theater. It's like, oh yeah, that guy. When you see him on the it's got that guy in that and that other guy too.
Yeah, the one time he appeared in a D-list movie.
Let's just close this thing out because we're not doing Living for You live. You gave up on love. There's a lot of love on this album. That's exactly what it is. At least David has the guts to say that all songs are about love. Starting at 1 minute.
Saw the way so long ago. Yes, it was beyond us. You said you know you just broke your promise. You gave up on love. You gave up trying.
I just reading these messages now? Curly Smith in the Heartbeat video?
Yeah, that's
The
him.
great Don Johnson single.
That's where I saw it because we were talking about Don Johnson. I'm like, wait a minute, I just saw that guy in a Boston live set.
Why is this not in his Boston fan page bio?
Because
I don't
they're
know.
filling
It
it up with woo
it
quotes.
should be the first thing.
Also, I found out that he drummed on "No Breaks" by John Waite. He might be on "Missing You."
That's
He's
interesting.
that guy.
He's kind of like the Bobby.
And he was on he was on Belinda Carlisle's "Heaven on Earth." This guy's got a better pedigree than I thought.
And then he's
And
somehow he made it
somehow-
to 2002 Boston.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's absolutely nothing distinctive about the drums on that song. So
Anyway, after listening to that song, that's another one where I feel like I skipped over,
Yeah,
and I didn't mind it as much. Actually, I'm like, hey,
Yeah,
I kind of
it's
wish I listened to this one.
No, this is the one where as far as I mean, we've had some issues with like closers, and I think this is the one that really got under my skin, and I don't mean that as a compliment. Where it just it breaks all of the rules as far as or commits all of the crimes as far as love songs, lovey-dovey kind of. I mean this. And again, we rag on Firehouse, but this sounds like a bad version of whatever the best of Firehouse. Like this is like sea level Firehouse, if that is even
You know
a
what
thing.
this reminded me of? It's like if what I imagine attending a mega church is like.
Oh
And
yeah, it's
they
got that
have, like,
Christian
rock
yeah.
band up there, and there's like 10 or 12 people, and every singer is taking a verse. They throw the flute in there for 2 seconds just to
and here-
give them like a
Right.
star.
And here we go.
I
Here's
believe-
oh, go ahead, Mark. Yeah.
that there are no less than 5 singers.
Oh
on
yeah,
this
it's very.
song.
It's there's a lot of
Why?
there's a lot of stuff going on here too. Yeah, there's a lot of they're just pulling out everybody's just throwing in their hat. Yeah, it's just a pile of hats. Yeah, that's the song. Yeah, and they just keep raining down.
What?
And another clunky kind of chorus section. You gave up on love. You gave up so easily. Guess you're not so tough. You gave up on everything love could be. Like what kind of preschool kind of like songwriting 001. I mean,
Like, let me see the. I want to see the. What is it? Discogs that had all of the.
yeah, this
the
this
scans.
sounds this sounds like mid late 90s hair metal balladry, which is just the worst.
But it's even worse than that.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, it's This is the one where okay, I'll keep my. I don't want to give too much away, but I think
I
it's
love how
probably-
he prints out the lyrics for this song too, as if it were something worth reading.
I did. I actually found there is somebody actually did write out all the lyrics.
No,
yeah,
it's on-
easylyrics.com.
yeah. Trying to look up the credits on this one, the official credits. Special thanks to, I don't. You know what? I don't care. There's just a lot of. There's too many singers on this one, and it doesn't matter. It's a terrible song. And I'm glad we're done with this album.
Well, let's see.
Why is Tom just so not cool? I'm watching this live at the
You know
Fiesta.
what? You know what's funny? I'm looking at
He
the.
just looks like an 80-year-old grandpa out there with the shorts.
It's funny. It's funny.
Because my old theorem that you cannot be a smart virtuoso and also
You got to put your
cool.
priorities
It is
somewhere. You know.
Yeah. You cannot do such a thing. Who is a virtuoso but also the apex of cool? Very, 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 very short list.
Yeah, it's a short list.
It's funny. I'm looking at.
I don't even know if I consider Tom a virtuoso anymore, though. After
This,
I mean, he's
schlock
got more.
after
He's got
schlock
more
after
misses than
schlock.
hits.
Yeah, so I think who knows.
Mhm. Yeah.
Not sure what's going on over there with Chris, but I think corporate America
He's just
pulled the
he's got
plug.
sucked into the vortex of this album.
Chris
coming for us
was singing
next.
corporate America there.
Yeah. It's like that Star Trek where people just keep disappearing off the ship. Like this album's called One of Us. It's coming for one of us. Which one of those next is gonna be sucked into the vortex of corporate America?
He's still going.
Yeah.
We've lost Mark.
Corporate America is putting me to work making PVC. I gotta go.
He's completely frozen.
He's
Tom
trying.
is hacking
He's-
this stream.
This is too funny. He's just frozen.
This is incredible. Too bad we
I
can't
know.
get this on the actual.
It's all going to be edited out.
It's not going to be. Because on his end, the audio is going to.
Honestly, I don't even know what to
just
give
edit
this a
it.
rating. I barely paid attention here. I've just been looking up funny Boston stuff.
It's whatever the just whatever the. Oh, I forgot his name already. The ACOS.
I guess that's probably yeah.
Yeah.
You liked those.
Am I quizzing you guys on your corporate America knowledge? Ugh. There was. I actually did find. I did find some articles that weren't in the normal. Almost in the dark web, but not quite. Yeah.
I'm ready to bomb out.
All right.
I think we got more trivia in during the show than
We did. Yeah.
I'm learning about this as I do the recording here.
All right, well, maybe we'll get some lucky guesses. All right, question 1, true or false? To start some buzz over the album, Tom held a benefit concert for one of his green charities, showcasing the record. True or false? I think that was Mark.
I'm going to take a guess and say true. It sounds like a Tom thing.
No, that was false, actually. He actually released an
screw
MP3. Okay, so Mark...
Oh, he released an
so
MP3.
cool.
All right, okay, let's fly through these. All right.
Next, I'll bomb out. Next.
True or false? It was Anthony Cosmo, right? Or Cosmo, or whatever. That was the son, right?
Yep.
Anthony, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Had no real live experience. Yes.
Jeez.
True.
You are correct. Yeah, that was one that kind of surprised me. Yeah, he had nothing beyond like just playing in his basement, and then he becomes the star of of this.
Got one right on corporate
Yeah,
America.
from basement to gold album, right? That's a positive look on it.
All right, let's go.
Okay, all right.
Keep 'em
True or false? Despite the less than stellar reviews, the album still cracked the top 40.
I'm just
Yes,
going
let's
all
see.
in on. True.
You are incorrect. It was 42. Yeah, so it just missed the top 40.
Pretty
Alex, you
respectable.
got to get one
I
right
guess
to
I
get
do.
a.
I don't even know what
Or-
to do as it stands right now.
All right, here we go. All right, we got another true or false. They're actually all true or false. Yeah. All right. Tom spent 4.5 years crafting the title track.
That's a good one.
I guess I got to buzz in, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my! You know the funny part is it's probably longer than that. I'll just go with true.
Yeah, you're correct.
Yes!
He wins it.
Thank God.
Ding.
All right,
Ding.
I'm sure he's just elated. I'll give you a very sympathetic ding, ding, ding there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right,
let's-
Chris, you
All right,
have an
Alex,
extra
take it
love or
away.
flush it on this album or the next one? You had extra buy or terminate.
I think I don't know.
Look,
Am
the
I
next
save
album
it,
I see
Chris.
two 2.0s and a Best Buy bonus track. So just to give you a little info on what's coming.
I think I'll use it here. I'll use another. So I get 2 buys or 2 terminates, right?
Correct. Yep.
Or I'll take another terminate. Yeah.
He's
yeah.
already loading up.
Yeah, we're. All right, you ready?
AKMC.
Wait. So what? I have 2 buys potentially.
Or
two
2
terminates.
terminates.
Or 2
yeah.
terminates.
Wow. Oh man, what do
Wow.
I do here?
He doesn't even know what to do with such power.
All right. Well, I guess I'm starting it off first here.
He's got to go first for songs he doesn't remember.
I had a good time.
Want to do it again?
Yeah, if it wasn't for that part, this was actually going to be my buy.
Okay.
Minus
please
that.
elaborate. No,
Minus
or
that.
don't.
Minus that part. I'm like, I hate that part. You know what? Let me just give it a love. I think it's a catchy song. I think it's good. There's some very questionable parts in it, but I'll just give it a love for now. Kev.
All right, I'll give it a love to the fact that it reminds me of Von Groove. And yes, at this point, I'm giving songs loves because they remind me of Sea Level hair metal bands.
Mark?
I would flush it even if the want to do it again were omitted. So
Chris?
there.
Chris?
Flush.
Ditto with Mark. Yeah, I just no thanks.
All right, there you go.
All right. Track 2, Stare Out Your Window. Let's give Akaz some love. Let's buy this one.
Okay.
My favorite contribution of him on the album. Kev.
Probably not my.
Oh, I can't hear you,
It's
Kev.
not bad, but it's. Oh, you can't hear me?
You're muted.
Yeah,
Your sound's gone.
Your sound's gone.
Yeah, the system has just had it.
Oh, he's
Akaz,
coming for Kevin.
Tom's
Akaz, I
getting me.
just gave you love. What's the problem?
He's coming for Kevin.
Was he typing in his?
Todd's getting sucked into the vortex. Just put your letter in the
Yeah,
chat.
just put your letter in the chat.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, we can't hear you at all,
not-
Kev. We hear
hang
we
on.
see your mouth moving, but we don't hear you.
Check.
I think
Check.
since Kevin's still getting
Check,
recorded,
check,
you
check.
should put a very glitchy effect on this. When it's finally produced.
All right, he's typing in his response, I think.
Yeah.
Weird, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
That's what we're-
Somebody, there's a ghost in the machine.
Yeah, we're like 80,
Yeah.
90%.
What's your vote? What's your vote?
Oh, he
flush.
flushed
Oh, we
it.
still get the flush though. Hey, we still get the sound effect. Well, why would we get the sound effect and not the voice? I'm gonna enjoy Kevin punctuated by a sound. I'm gonna enjoy it. I flushed this one too. I would not pick this one as my Anton
Yeah,
favorite. Whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Adam.
yeah,
Yeah, how many
Keep it
names
going.
does he have?
yeah.
None of them seem to be working.
Yeah, we can keep the flush. The flushes going.
All right.
All right,
Yeah.
title track. I think the chat boosted it up enough to be my buy on this album, so I'm going to do that for corporate America.
Check.
So your
Check.
second
Or my
album.
second buy. My one buy that actually sounds like a Boston song. I was just throwing Anton a bone for his contribution, but this is like probably the real buy here. So yeah. Okay. Just Kev's thoughts on title track.
What's he got?
I don't think we can hear him still. Oh, he bought that one
Ooh,
too.
I
Nice.
like that.
How about
one.
Mark?
Interesting. I love it, and I will give it a pretty sizable love. I don't know if I can go as far as a big love, but yeah, solid, strong love. With
All
this
right, and Chris.
Yeah. Aside from the nonsensical, topical lyrics, I great music. I'll give it a big love.
All right. Track 4, With You, Sheryl Crow. Yeah, I think I gotta terminate this one here. Sorry, Kim. I mean, you can sell it, but it's just like this one is like the one that really does not make sense to be here. So yeah, even though you played it live on that tour, so hopefully that went well for you. Kev, with you.
Yeah, her career isn't starting off too well, and I am going to follow it up with another T for exactly the same reasons that Alex gave. I like the song. The placement is beyond questionable. It's mysterious.
Yeah,
It's like a secret of the universe.
Yeah, technically I should get rid of it, but I did like it enough. I would feel too bad completely getting rid of it, so I'll give it a love.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll pull the rubber
All right.
glove. Yeah.
Track 5, Someone. I imagine we'd probably, if anybody's going to be saving it, it's going to be on this album and not the next. But I will go. I don't even remember what it sounds like, but all I said is at least it sounds like a Boston song.
This one might have claps in it, or it might not. This one might have that little brief bit of claps. I think.
I'm gonna.
It does.
I don't remember it. Let's flush it though. I'll flush this one.
Kevin says it is the one with the claps.
Kev? Someone?
This one is not getting a flush. It's getting a
okay.
L.
All right.
Oh,
And
okay.
Mark.
I do not remember this one at all, besides that it might have had claps in it, so the default for that is going to be a flush. This song was for someone.
And Chris.
Yeah, I did kind of remember this one from the like the NYPD Blue synth
Nice.
intro. And that
Sipowitz.
didn't do it any favors. So yeah, I'm gonna give it the flush.
Andy, I love a huge show of my youth. NYPD Blue with Andy Sipowitz.
Yeah.
What you need to do is you need to watch the Mad TV sketch of it when Will Sasso plays it. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Anyway, so we're on Turn It Off now?
Yep.
I wrote decent chorus, and it is a Cosmo contribution, so I'll give it a light squeeze. Yes, that one doesn't get a sound
Kevin
effect.
gets a light
Kev's
squeeze.
gonna do the same. Mark?
Yeah, I also will do the same. I don't like the song particularly, but I understand it. So it gets just a squeeze.
All right, and Chris.
Yeah, same here for familiarity. But here I don't mind it so much. But yeah, I'll give it a little squeeze.
All right, track 7, Crying. I wrote like question mark. I think I remember. Yeah, I remember liking. I remember liking this one in the discussion. So I'll give it a like as well, a little higher, between a light squeeze and a love. For me, Mark, or sorry, Kev, flush.
Yep, keep that one going for this one.
Well, I guess I gotta.
What do you do,
boy.
Chris? You rubber gloving it?
Yeah, I gotta run it for the second time. Yeah, this is my buy actually, and I know it kind of. Yeah.
The Oasis track.
Whoa.
Chris's rubber glove.
Yeah, it's funny because it does kind of fall in the with you kind of category that really doesn't belong anywhere. But this is the one that really kind of stuck with me. Where I didn't. Yeah, I just hit it a little bit on repeat. So yeah, it's it's buying worthy, staying around. Yeah.
All right. Didn't mean to fall in love. Sorry, Mark. This one is getting the flush for me. Kev? Flush as well.
That's a flushing. Doing that is a flushing sound. Yeah.
Mark?
And very questionable buy. But you know what? You shouldn't question it because I've been doing this for a long time. I've been arranging my
Making a
buys
movie.
in the order of my screenplay, and this one fits the best in this part of the film. Not going to have a happy ending, I don't think, but it's going to have a very corporate ending, I suppose, with the Frontier. How does he go from corporate America to Frontiers?
Yeah,
Wasn't corporate America on Frontiers?
No,
No, the next
it
one
wasn't.
is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it. And wrapping it up, Chris.
Flush. Yeah, this is
I stand
a
alone.
very
The world is
Militant flush,
flushing
yeah.
around me, and I'm just left holding the bag on this one.
All right, and the final track of the album, You Gave Up on Love. Originally I wrote Terminate because I just don't even think I listened to it. But then when you played it, I didn't mind it as much. You know what? I'm going to give it a flush, but I'm going to come back to
A
it.
flute.
I'm going to give it a... This might be one where I listen to it after the show and I'm like, I was a little harsh on that one, but I'll keep there for now. Kev, You Gave Up on Love.
The pause, the anticipation. the termination.
There it
Oh
goes.
wait a minute. I have 2 terminates, right?
You do have 2 terminates.
All right, so
or-
what I'm gonna do-
you have 2 terminates.
Yeah,
But
so
it's
what I'm
Mark's
gonna do-
turn.
okay.
It's Mark's turn.
Okay, I'll wait. Yeah.
All right. I am flushing this piece of garbage. I feel like the album could have ended with "Didn't Mean to Fall in Love."
All right, and Chris.
All right. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pull the rubber glove on the last one. Didn't mean, and I'm gonna terminate it.
Okay.
And I'm also going to terminate this one, though even more deeply and personally on the closer, because I just there was never love to begin with, so yeah, I don't have any guilt.
All right. Well, thank you for making it to the end of this one. This might be collectively the worst and most unfun example of a piece of music that we have ever covered. Even Saint Anger had its moments that poked through. I think this was depressing. I don't want to ever do Boston again. I don't know even if I want to listen to the good stuff anymore. This was so
Oh, we got one album
pathetic. We have one album left, and we have
Just in case you forgot.
2.0s. So if someone 1.0 didn't do it for you, you decided to give it a shot of, Chris, you gave up on love. Terminated thrice. And it's coming back next record. It is the piece of trash that will not die. It is the spider that keeps creeping out of the garbage can no matter how many times
You bleach it.
squish it with the piece of toilet paper. Is that what we're going to get next record? I don't have high hopes. Why should you listen? Why are we listening? I don't know. But tune in, find out next
live,
time.
love, hope. Okay, life, love, and hope.
Live, love,
Yeah,
flush. No.
it just says live, laugh, love. The live, laugh, love. This
Jesus,
guy
live,
is a-
laugh, love. I love you, matcha.
That's what he is.
What are these? God, this hashtag song titles. Get them out of here.
Yeah. Don't forget, Oh Canada, it's coming. And a very special, very, very special, because I know if you've listened this far, you will stick around for this one. We're going to throw in a Boston bonus track. I remember when our dad was criticized, Kevin and I's dad was criticizing us for not including See Emily Play in the Pink Floyd discography, considering that was such an iconic part of early Floyd, See Emily Play. We didn't cover it. Well, we learned from that mistake, and we are making sure to cover God Rest Ye Metal Gentlemen, the Boston classic, and we are going to cover that one. We're going to show it to you. We're going to dissect it, debate over it, and wonder why it exists. Live Life and Hope. The 2013 release. God Rest Ye Metal Gentlemen. Get ready. We're going to be playing it. We're gonna
I
be
need to
talking
make
it.
a slight correction on something I commented on earlier about Someone. It's actually, the song is called Someday. 2 different songs, similar titles. There is a bonus track of Someday that we're not going to cover, but if you listen to it, I would advise it. It's Tom Schultz on lead vocals singing an alternate version of Someday, which is the 7th track on the next album. But
like Eddie.
yeah,
singing,
but they did
Vanilla Free.
re-record Someone, and apparently it's different than the one on this album, but I haven't heard it.
Don't cry, alternate lyrics. He's stealing ideas that are 30 years out of date, and he's proud of it. See you next time.
Oh boy.